do my seme, right? Because if he wants, he can just one step hit me, right? Easy peasy, you don't even have to try. So especially if you don't have that same kind of launch power, you're playing from out here, right? We're doing our seme, we're doing our setup with a little bit of space because I'm safe here. And then when I attack, I close that distance and hopefully I do so with enough like seme, whether that be ki seme, ten seme, whatever. I freeze but I stop him, okay? If you watch all of these high-level kendo tournaments, you don't see people out here like this. You don't see that. Maybe the hachidons, right? Because they can't move very good. But for like worlds, for nationals, you don't see them in here like this. They're playing out here with some distance, and then they close that distance. Does that make sense? Right. So this is a multi-step thing. You're using your footwork from 1 to 2. Okay? But you have to practice with actually giving yourself space. If you start kensen to kensen, you're not going to get anything out of this. Straighten up the lines. Rotate. Same thing, Gochi. Gaku-do and scoring it is the judges are already going to be judging it harsher. Kind of like Iki-waza in that respect. There's no rhyme or reason. It does not say in the rule book that Gaku-do has to be amazing or don't take is typically going to be Naku and Naku before I start hitting it. Now, does that mean that I stand here? No. This is where that toma drill comes into play, where we're up here and we're kind of like doing this and we go in. Okay? So, you have to move in to your hitting distance. The next thing that is super important is you have got to keep this left hand in the center. Like with every other point you hit, you have to keep it in the center. This right hand is going to pull it and break that angle, but it is not going to pull it back here. Okay? Because we're not going, you're not doing it that way. Okay? So you go in, and then you're turning with your hips. Turning with your hips. Okay. So you're finished. So I like to go forward. I find going forward is always the best because they can't follow up and hit me, and the zanshin is really good. Okay. But I like to go like for décolleté. I like to go off to their left side, or to my left side, I should say. So that might work for me. Some people have a really hard time getting that crossover. Okay? That's okay. The other way you're going to see it done typically is, okay. So you go in, right, and then you go back. You'll notice I don't go straight back. Why? Yeah.
Because if you miss, there's no reward against you.
Right. If I miss, or if the shinkan don't like it, they're going to fall up and hit men, and they're going to. One way we can prevent that is going off the angle. The other thing is be ready for the next hit, right? Okay. We get back into a fighting position, so that way, if he decides he wants to follow up on me, I try it. I'm ready to do something, right? What I don't want to see is what I saw you guys do earlier. I don't want to see you guys go. That's not zanshin. That's you running away because you're scared. Okay? Kendo has the concept of furoshin, right? We leave it all out there. We have no fear, no worries, right? We're going out there, we're putting it all out there. And if death be our final destination, so be it, right? You give everything you have to that hit. Fear has no part of that equation. So, if you do that and run away, most likely, especially in the United States, you're not going to get that point, and you're only ever going to see that really scored in junior level tournaments, maybe in Japan. And the reason for that is when we are a shinkan or judging matches, we have to look at a bunch of criteria. And for kids and like cues, if 80% of the criteria is there, we give them the point. Okay? But that's not the correct way you want to do it, right? Because we run into the same issue where we go, they didn't take the point, and you're wide open, right? Because you're like, huh? Your body's not set up in a way to hit, you're not ready to hit, and you're not set up for the follow-up. Because a lot of times, it may not be, especially if you're going backwards, it may not be the Gaku-do you score, it might be the follow-up, right? It might be something else. But if your feet aren't set, if your kamae is not back here, if all those things aren't in place, you're not going to have that opportunity. Okay? So, there's a lot of things that you guys may see, and I'm not saying that the shinkan will never take it, but what I'm going to tell you is that once you get past like a shodan level, which I hope all of you continue past, that stuff's not going to work anymore. So I really encourage you to start learning this stuff correctly from the ground level, right? And the same thing goes with like going go forward, right? We tell you to keep your hands on it. Are people going to be able to, are people going to score like that? Occasionally, in lower ranking tournaments, in junior tournaments they're going to. You're not going to see it at US Nationals, you're not going to see it at Worlds. Okay? So, if you can now start working on doing things the correct way, that is going to be ideal. Cool? Good. going to go forward, or we're going to go back in an angle. If you've never hit Gaku-do before, you're totally cool to be here and then just practice very slowly doing that movement, stepping forward and hitting that movement. And then we can kind of build up to the finish. Okay? Questions? Do you know what you're doing? Go for it. All right, let's go ahead and do 5 to a side, all right? 5 to a side. Stagger if we need to.
Yes! Yeah!
full speed immediately. Like, I've definitely missed some before, probably on a lot of you, sorry, it happens, right? But as you get more comfortable, you can start speeding it up. So we'll go ahead and do this just a couple more times. Nice. Rotate. Same thing. hate Jodan. Like you get a little bit of extra credit if you try it, you get close to it, they'll take it. So the most common way you're going to see it is a two-hand. Okay? So this one, unless you are very skilled, like Jeffy Marston is really good at being all the way out here and like launching. Oh, I kind of hit it. And launching out like that. He's very good at that. I'm not. I'm usually going to come in a little bit here to hit it. Right. So this is the same idea. Oh my gosh, it's like the lesson plan is all connected. You're here, you take that step in, and then you go in and hit. Okay? So all of your power is in your left hand. The left hand, it's not any different than any of the other strikes, but if you try to muscle it in with your right, you are going to miss. You are going to go off center. Okay? So it's really important that you have most of that coming in that way, your left hand. You have to raise up the tip a little bit usually to get it on there. You can do it one-handed, that's another way to do it. Again, Jeffy does this really well. He'll be here and he'll actually come up and down. I cannot do that. You can do straight on, one-handed, but I think for most of you, we're going to go ahead and just stick with the two-handed method. So you're still stepping in. Your dancing can be, typically you'll see one of two ways. I like the way where I push them and I take their spot, where I go, and I just kind of like here, right? I like that for me. You'll see the other way that you'll see it's really common is they'll go, they'll hit and they'll go back, in and out. Yes, go ahead. You can do Munetsuki.
So if your partner is 15 and under, you should ski their play. High school, 16 and over, they allow ski. So if you're 16 and over, you can do the ski. If your opponent is the junior, you will do Munetsuki on them. But if they want to try the ski, they can. That make sense? Because you cannot ski a junior, basically. Okay?
Some of the risks with ski, the reason why you can't do this till you're shodan typically, is obviously it's a very high possibility of having a really bad injury, right? I've gotten hit with a lot of missed ski, and I'm very fortunate that I've not had any serious injuries outside of a bruise. That being said, this can cause concussions, this can cause catastrophic injury to the esophagus. It can cause a lot of things. Bad deal. I think concussions are probably the biggest thing that happens. There can be a little bit of whiplash situation. Okay? We don't need to go in as hard as we can. None of the things that we tell you to hit, we say go and hit as hard as you can. Right? All it is just enough force. Most of my energy is coming from my hips. Really, I'm not really hitting a lot with my hands. Just enough to make that firm contact. Yeah, you'll notice I am also not putting my foot back, right? It's all the same for all of the different hits. That foot comes up with you, and that's that momentum that's going to push them off center. And if you push them off center like that, flags up all day.
And you notice the contact is contact and then gone. This is actually, if you contact and keep pushing, that's actually a hustle. You can push them out of the spot. And notice when Brian Sensei did it, she went, and then it comes back, right? She stayed, but the shinai is here, and then it pops off. There's not constant, okay, push with this, okay?
So if you are receiving ski, and it really doesn't matter if it's, so we'll just start, if you're receiving traditional ski, you're going to have a very loose upper body, okay? Do not try, this is not Tai-atari practice, don't try it and not move, okay? Nice and loose. You'll see Taro there. You're going to tuck your chin because we want to have the best opportunity of it not sliding around when we're practicing, right? Tuck your chin. Yeah, don't do that. That's a bad deal, right? For multiple reasons. Tuck your chin. you go back. Okay? This is not one where I want you to hold your ground. Okay? We're not going to hold our ground with our necks. That's no. Right? This happens very infrequently in tournaments, so like we don't need to learn how to stand still from that, I guess. So that's how you're going to see it. Same thing with the mune. As soon as you feel that contact, just fade back a little bit. Don't try to like absorb it. Okay? So some people are going to have some slick munes, and some will have some that stick better. So like Tara's is very slippery. Right? So obviously that's a Tara thing, right? But like let's try like a nice one. I don't know. Mine is pretty textured, so mine probably isn't going to slip around too much. Okay? So just when you do your first one, suss it out, see what it's like. Right? Oh yeah, Brandon, yours is really good. Because he's got like all that like nice little texture bits. So his will stick real good. Yeah, his will stick really nice. So it's going to depend on who you got. Anyway, I think I talked enough about that. So, to recap. Only do ski on adults. Okay? Just the adults. If you're a kid and you want to try ski, you can. Against other adults, not against other kids. If you do not want to if you don't feel comfortable trying the ski, you can do Munei ski. We are going like 10%. We're not going fast. Just get the movement down. Okay? And then make sure you're using, again, your feet. Okay. If you're receiving it, nice loose shoulder, chin tucked down. As soon as you feel that pressure, then fade back. All right, I'm scared. All right, any questions? Yes?
But I think I'm here because I'm 16, but it's like...
You can do it against adults. You cannot do it against other
You
children.
better conquer something, maybe. Then you can take on the back.
Yeah, no. I'm just gonna say if they're a kid, if they're 18 or under, just don't do ski on them.
Wait.
But if you're a kid and you want to do it against someone else who's an adult, you may. Does that answer everyone's questions? Yep. Right. Nice and slow. Five to the side.
Ski here or ski
Hey! Otherwise, you'll waste. So that's like, right there.
No. So it's like staff. Same thing. If Yeah.